friends. All right. We got to get everything set up. Danielle, are you here? I'm just waiting a second so that I can get Danielle on here. D, if you're here, hop in. I think it should invite you. Yes? Did it invite you? Anyone else, if you're here, say hey. Hi, D. Okay, yes. Oh, it's working. Yes. Approve. Yes, an invite. Of course, that's what we're working on here. Says it's adding her.
Hey.
What? Yay. Okay, hold on. Now my head's cut off. Cut off my noggin.
Like, where's a good angle?
I know, there isn't one.
There isn't.
The right angle does not exist.
Right.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for doing this.
Absolutely. I'm going to try to not be super shaky. So let me see if I can set my phone down and stop doing it.
For anyone watching, this is how Danielle and I coach. This is what our conversations look like. They're a little crazy.
Legit.
Well, just like every other coaching session, let's start with prayer.
Right.
Jesus, thanks for Danielle. Thank you for her willingness to share her experiences with all the women in this group. Lord, I pray that they would be blessed and that Danielle would be blessed by this. I pray for wisdom and discernment. I pray for you to give us clarity in our words and to be glorified. Above all else, Lord, be glorified. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay, so if anyone is watching...
I'm going to move it again because I set it on my water bottle and I want to drink.
Love it.
I got this. Rearrange my desk.
I just had animal crackers and I feel like, you know, they're all in my... Which is so cute when you're doing a live. So if anyone's watching and they want to ask questions, let me just put that in the comments over here. You can ask questions in the comments. What are you doing? Oh. My kids are all home today.
Oh, good time.
Okay. So I'm just going to ask you questions and we're going to kind of just talk through it.
All
like
right.
we did in our normal calls. What was your goal when we first started coaching? Because you've been coaching now since the end of March.
Right. It's been, I guess, 4 months now.
Yeah. So what was the initial goal?
The initial goal. It's basically been it's always been less about like losing weight and more about getting my mind straightened up around how I view health and what is healthy for me. But I do know coming into this time, because we've coached before, coming into this time, I did want to see weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still, because I know losing weight and keeping it off and doing it in a healthy fashion is not about this diet or that exercise program. Been there, done that, didn't work.
Right.
I know a lot of my struggles are in how I view things and how I, like my perspective on what is healthy and how to be healthy and all of that, which we've talked about a lot, I think, over the past 4 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, but to get my heart and mindset around health cleared up, basically. That was
Right.
really the goal.
That was really the goal. Yeah. And I mean, from my perspective, you have made huge strides in that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Let's make sure we agree. As your coach, I think you've done that.
Yeah,
I think there's always work to be done. Like, we're never like complete,
absolutely.
right? But like,
Yeah.
you made huge strides in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So explain to me how the habits work for you. Like, how did you decide on your specific habits? And how have they helped you? Like, talk to me about the habits, because that's something that I do with all my clients and it looks different for everybody.
Sure. So we started with like, what is the end goal?
Right.
And a lot of mine I discovered were very relational goals.
Yeah, yours were.
And then breaking that down into little steps. And for me, it was about making sure it was never overwhelming. And what I've really seen in how my goals have and my habits have evolved over the course of coaching. Oh gosh, I totally lost my train of thought.
Again, this is normal.
Give me a second.
How your habits have evolved over the course of coaching.
It was important to have them not overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was going to say how they've evolved where I'm thinking about things differently. For instance, where we just switched my nutrition goal, or not the goal, the habit, when we just switched my nutrition habit. I kind of mastered the initial one we set, which we designed, like it really went with my lifestyle. It was really good. And I like, it was habit. It was no longer something I had to think about. So it's like, okay, what's the next step to get me healthier? And I made the comment about feeling like I needed more vegetables because I knew I needed to eat healthier things. And my mind was like, but that's so hard because I know I need to go back to like 3 vegetables a day and blah, blah, blah. And you were like, what about 3 a week? And I was like,
what? I can do that?
Yeah. I can do that? Right. Yeah. So,
who said you can?
Yeah. So just seeing the habits from a different perspective and a different way.
And you did a serving of veggies 3 times a week, but then you've come back to me every week and you're like, oh yeah, I totally did that. Like, yeah, I got that. I got that.
Yeah, I still feel like that's one that I still have to consciously, conscious effort to do it.
Right.
But yeah, it's been one that's been easy to implement.
Easier than you thought.
Right, easier than I thought. Yeah. Well, yeah, because my thought is always big. I don't think baby stuff.
Yeah, no, you think
I have to get reined in. Yes. Yeah. So, but it's been fun too, especially with the vegetable goal. And I think.
Sorry, did you just say eating vegetables has been fun? I feel like that needs to be said again.
I did, because it's, finding new recipes and looking at new things. And we haven't, because we're still moving, still finding out.
Let's just put that caveat in there. Over the course of coaching, Danielle moved across the state with her 5 kids.
Yes.
And her husband.
While working. I didn't take time
While
off.
Working. Yeah.
Glutton for punishment.
I can't even. So, okay, so let's talk about that. How did you, let's combine the two. You sustained your habits during this huge transition.
Right.
Right? And not just a transition a couple weeks, but a transition from one city to, from like city to country, from like one side of the state to the other, from living with, you know, a family member to being in your own home. Like you went from one season of life to a whole new season
Yes.
for your family. Talk about how your habits transitioned with you.
Yeah. So we were very conscientious about, like I said a second ago, baby steps, making sure it was small, making sure it was something I could maintain and didn't feel overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found through the whole moving process, because it's been a ride.
It has been a ride for you.
It's been a ride. So we went through like the buying process. That was a whirlwind of stress of, yes, you're going to be approved. No, the house didn't pass. Maybe the house will pass. Maybe no,
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Complete chaos.
Yeah.
To traveling for work and then getting the call while I'm out of state across the country. We're going to sign next week. Okay.
Are we really? Yeah.
Right. Is this really happening? To then packing everything up in a month
Mm-hmm.
and then moving across the state. And now we're a month here. We've still unpacking.
Yes.
A lot of stuff for 7 people. There's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff.
But every one of my habits was so like intentionally fit into my life that it didn't matter that these circumstances changed, that there was chaos and stress and we're here and we're back and we're here and we're back and utter madness. Like I was still able to incorporate every one of those in because it wasn't, you have to do this program Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Make sure you're measuring out all these different meals. Because a lot of times it was, especially the moving to a small town, it was like the only place open is McDonald's. You can't even go to the grocery store, it's closed.
Yay, rural Kentucky, right?
Right. Like literally you have McDonald's land.
And that's it.
Right. So, but I think really like what I gained the most in mastering a lot of these habits throughout this process was learning grace for myself and that thinking outside of the box. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be 3 veggies every single day or you failed.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of, and like my movement goal, we took the look at, the long haul. Do I want to do like intensive workout this many times for the rest of my life? I don't know that I do. That's not really my thing.
I don't either.
Right.
Yeah.
So having a movement goal that didn't have
those restrictions, yeah.
Yeah, the restrictions, that was the word I was trying to think of.
Mm-hmm.
Was
after 4 months I can read your mind.
It's a good thing because it's Wednesday and I've already used up my English words. So
and one thing you mentioned earlier was that your habits or your goals were so relationally like once we put them all on paper, we were like, wow, these all revolve around relationships. And that's how your movement goal ended up, or your movement habit ended up being very relational with your kids and incorporated them. Can you talk about how like coaching and this approach to health, because it's really different. It's not like you centered. It's like, I think it incorporates the whole field. Like, can you talk about how it's impacted your family or how it has not negatively impacted your family? I think you know what I'm asking, and you're going to say it so much better than I am asking it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think how to phrase it. Investing in coaching And in the time to do this once a week has kept me grounded through all of this. It's given me a point to come back to where I'm being taken care of, where I get out of the like wind tunnel of, but mommy, I need this, and mommy, I need this, and where's that box, and where is the password, and where is this, and I am the keeper of all the things. Having that support system in place where I was being supported kept me balanced so that I was a better mom. I'm a better wife. I'm a better human being in general. You're welcome, world.
Your whole world.
Yeah, that's, and like we said, a lot of my goals were, or my habits were relational. A lot of my goals were relational. And I think a big part of that is built on like the relationship we have with coaching and keeping me, like I said, grounded and giving me the stability through all the changes in life of being able to focus on these things that help me be the person I want to be.
Yeah. Your healthiest version of yourself. Like,
right.
You imagine that was your goals. Like you chose your goals based on, okay, what is like the healthiest, most like intentional version of me? Like, what does she look like? What does she do?
Yeah.
You know, shoot, now it's my turn to forget what I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm not alone.
No, not at all. Yeah, it's Wednesday afternoon. Yeah, you had started, I mean, and because we've been together like for a while, like,
yeah,
on this health journey together for a while. So we were together even in the Beachbody days. And that felt, I don't know if it felt this way for you, but every other program has felt isolating for me. Like, mommy has to work out, so
yes,
you can't be in the room. Or mommy's eating this way, so we have to all do it this way, or mommy has to eat something different. You know what I mean?
right.
Like,
yes, which was never fun with the kids.
it was never fun, right? It was never fun with husbands either. Let's be honest. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Can you talk about the difference? Like, has there been a difference between that mentality and coaching? Like, because I feel like I had to unlearn a lot of that, and I kind of watched you then unlearn all the things that we were taught, like,
yeah,
in the normal diet culture, as opposed to like, oh, this is just a healthy lifestyle. Like, this is what we do.
yeah, yeah. I think like this past 4 months, everything has been very, like everything's developed very organically. It's not forced. It's not been, like you said, it was isolating. Things I've done in the past have been isolating. Like you said, I have to do this. And I did work out like with my middle daughter a bit. And my youngest daughter wanted to, but it was always like, there's not enough room for us to do this together. And so, sorry, you can't. Sorry, kid, you can't exercise. Mommy's exercise.
Right. Yeah.
Where now it's like my movement goal revolves around playing with the kids.
Yeah. How cool is that? Like,
right. Like it feels very natural. It is very natural. And it's all progressed in a way that feels right, as opposed, and I hate to say natural again, but it feels natural. Like this is what I should be doing. Like this is what I want to be doing, not this is what I have to do in order to do this thing so that this thing happens, and then that thing never happens anyway. So
yeah.
So yeah.
That's good.
I think it's I don't know. I guess that's my best way to describe it. Is it just is very organic. It's very natural. And it's flexible. Like it's fluid. My life changes. My responsibilities have shifted, and this lifestyle is able to shift with me, where other things would not have.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about your moving process and like imagining you trying to follow like a workout program
Yeah,
or workout calendar. Like that would have been bananas.
absolutely.
But when we changed the language to movement instead of exercise, and when we changed the expectations from, you know, putting on workout clothes and getting sweaty and having to shower, like to um, let's see who can pack the U-Haul the fastest, you know,
Right,
lifting and packing and running back and, you know, walking back and forth or running back and forth from the house to the U-Haul. Like that
right,
is also movement. I'm pretty sure you were sore after that day. Like,
right. And I feel
you
like
know,
I should say, you know, for people who come back and listen, like I lost 12 pounds in these 4 months. My movement goal was not lifting weights. It was not cardio. It was 5 minutes of active play with my kids 3 times a week. That was the movement goal. That was
say it again for the people in the back.
right. A little louder, please. Like there was
Mhm.
nothing, not the things that you would normally expect. I
Not
wasn't
the thing.
walking a
Yeah.
mile, jogging for an hour, or and I still lost the weight.
Mm-hmm. And you like your nutrition, like you said, like you stopped snacking after
Right,
dinner 5
right,
nights a week. Like we
right.
left a couple nights for grace, like for you to enjoy that with your family. But then it
Exactly.
was, you know, just adding vegetables in a few times a week.
Yeah.
Like not like, you know,
It's not life changing, but turns out it kind of is.
turns out it kind of is,
It's kind of a big deal.
right? Because 12 pounds in 12 weeks, like, or I guess 16 weeks, like healthy weight loss is like 1 to 2 pounds a week. So you were
Right.
right on track. We did the mindset work, then we started with the habits. Like you lost 12 pounds in 12 weeks during one of the most stressful seasons of your life.
Right. Where historically I turn to food when I'm stressed.
Right. And you
But
did not.
I get fidgety and I need to like
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
I just need a little chocolate to make it through. Like,
Yeah. Just need a glass of wine because today was really long and hard.
hey,
Or that's mine. Yeah. You showed yourself so much grace. Talk about that perfection piece again, because that has been a huge part of your journey, the grace and perfection.
yes, because very much the way I was raised, there was a huge expectation for perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I struggle with in all areas of my life. um, so yeah, we found a Bible verse, I think, that helped me a lot. And created periods where I was taking breaks to recenter my mind off of myself and my problems and on God. And between those two things and Bible study that we incorporated into the Jesus habit and things like that, that like it just shifted my mind entirely.
Mm-hmm.
So and one of my like my goal, one of my like a part of my Jesus goal was to love myself in the way Jesus loves me.
Mm-hmm.
And like we've spent a lot of time talking about grace and how
Mm-hmm.
with perfection there's not a need for grace.
Mm-hmm.
So um, that has had a huge influence on me. And I've been able to really kind of flip a switch there where I'm not, um, when things don't happen perfectly, I don't immediately digress into, well, I'm failure. I've messed
Mm-hmm.
up. I have to start all over. It's like, no, that was one thing. It's over, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
And grace says, we're starting from now.
Yeah, we start right now.
Exactly.
You also use the tool of asking yourself who says, didn't you?
Yes, I still have like that
Do you
post
still
it.
have that note? Did that travel with you?
It did. It stayed on the monitor I kept while the rest of my office was on the other side of the state. Like this one stays and the sticker stays. Do not take it off.
Don't take- I need
Yeah.
that.
that question of when I start to think, well, this has to be this way, like the kids are not getting into bed on time, so I can't get to bed on time. It's like, well,
Mhm.
who says what on time is?
Right.
Like that was a huge one for me.
It was a big one for you.
Who says? And when I think, okay, well, I'm supposed to do this at this time and I'm supposed to do this at that time and I didn't do this, and it's like, well, but who says those are the time frames?
Yeah.
And a lot of it is, I don't know who says, but they
Right.
just show up.
Who said that? No one.
No one said that. Why is this in my head?
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah. Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that you brought up the bedtime thing. You have been working a lot on boundaries.
Yes.
Can you talk about how that's impacted your health?
Yes, especially around bedtime.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone who knows me knows that sleep is my love language. And it is also the hardest thing I find to get. So, in fact, my birthday is next week, and my husband, my daughter was like, "We have to get you something," and my husband was like, "No, we don't. Like that's just this crazy idea." And I was like, "No, you really don't." I was like, "As I'm thinking, what do I want for my birthday? I want to sleep.
Yeah.
Let me sleep in."
Yes. Take them out for breakfast and let me sleep in.
Right? Send them off so I can go to bed.
Yeah.
So, yes, so around sleep and setting boundaries, I've set a bedtime alarm
Mm-hmm.
and I've told my husband and my kids, no, like when the bedtime alarm goes off, mommy's got to go to bed because I do have a schedule that's not the same as yours and I need sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are young and your bodies like rejuvenate quickly and I'm not
Yeah.
there anymore.
Yeah. If you want nice mommy tomorrow, I'm setting
Exactly.
this boundary up for your benefit.
Yes. And I've actually like that's a term that I have picked up a lot that I use with the kids. That it's like if you want mommy to be nice,
Yeah.
then you need to do these things too. So that I don't have to do these, or so I can go to bed, or
Mhm.
whatever the situation is. It's
Yeah. Rested mommy is a nice mommy.
right.
Not
Like,
rested mommy, you just don't want, like, no one wants to deal
you
with her.
know.
It is in your best interest to let me go to bed right now.
Right. And they amazingly, like, they respect that.
Yeah.
Like, see, that was shocking to me. Like, and my middle daughter, who's the one that I would work out with too, she's like, "Isn't that your bedtime alarm? Don't you need to go to bed?"
Love that kid.
Yes, Lily. In fact, I do.
Thanks. Peace out. You can finish this project.
Right? That
Yeah.
means laundry load is yours now, right?
Right. But nothing's going to fall apart
Yes.
if I stick to my guns here.
Yes. Which I taught my husband too.
Did you?
Yes, the number of times since we've been here that he's like been staying up way too late and he's just
Yeah.
exhausted. He's like, I have to go to sleep. And then I'll catch him doing like starting some big thing and I'm like, it'll be here tomorrow. It's not gonna fall apart if you go to sleep now. And he'll be like, you're right. It's not gonna fall apart.
I love that. See, coaching impacts the whole family
It
in
does.
a good way.
In a good way, yes. Yeah, for sure.
I love that. So after our 4 months, you did the 4 month package and then you just re-signed to continue for 6 months. What made you make that decision? Like, what was the deciding factor?
Um, gosh, it just made sense.
Okay.
Like I did debate it for a while because I'm like, I have the tools I need.
Mm-hmm.
And uh-oh.
Oh no. Did we lose her? Hold on, everyone.
Um,
Danielle.
are you
Oh,
there?
I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so we don't have cell service here. So all my stuff runs on Wi-Fi and the power blinked out. So
I was like, I bet the power went out. Keep going.
So I was saying why I resigned.
Yeah.
I have to like bring myself back to like, what was the conversation?
Yes. What are we talking
um, yeah, I did debate it because I was like, I have the tools I need. I can probably do this on my own. And then I was like, yeah, that's worked in the past. Because realistically, I do have the tools and I've grown a lot, but I know I'm still in the process of growing. Like I'm not there yet. I'm not trustworthy to coach myself out of, some of my really still ingrained bad habits.
Yeah.
So I knew I still needed that weekly connect to address the different bad habits that I'm trying to replace. And, like I said before, so much of it's thinking outside of the box that I've, my thought process that I have that isn't necessarily correct, and getting that different point of view and the not emotionally invested in
an objective perspective.
the objective perspective.
Objective perspective.
So, yeah, I think that was the biggest thing, was just realizing I have a way to go before I'm at my healthiest self. And while I have the tools and I have the process, I still need the support. And I wanted to. Like I said, this weekly call is what kept me sane through this move.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine how poorly things could have gone if I hadn't had this to stabilize me.
Yeah. I think people often think like that coaching is going to be just one more thing on my plate, like one more plate I have to carry, one more ball I have to, balance. Like I have this mental picture of like a server holding a tray on one hand, like this, and just all the plates piling up, right? And I'm like, no, like if you feel like you're standing on one foot, holding us all up, like coaching is like just another block for you to stand on. Like I'm not adding to the plate. Like I want to be underneath you, holding you up, like giving you more tools to like put more foundation underneath you to keep you stable. I feel like I'm just getting excited about the analogy and it's not making sense anymore, but you get it.
No, but for sure, like the coaching was not another plate. It was not one more thing I had to do. It was what brought me back to being grounded and being stable, and pulled out of the whirlpool of this is really hard, and why is this happening, and how do I handle this, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It made me think, like, a lot of times what I've thought about coaching, and I'm trying to think who said it, and I don't remember. It was some like great Christian speaker whose name I don't know, but
Right.
I'm good with it, let me say. But the comment that he made, or that I remember, was that like he had so much to do in a day that he could not perceive any way to start his day except for spending like 2 hours in prayer. Where normally you would look and be like, well, you've got so much to do, why are you not getting to it? It's like, well, I can't possibly do that if I don't spend this time in prayer. It was like, I have so much to do. I have health goals. I have raising 5 kids. I have a full-time job. I have being a wife. We're moving. We're, this.
All the things.
There's no possible way that I can do these things that I need and want to do if I'm not doing the coaching to give me a stable platform to stand on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to redirect me back to focus on Jesus and not madness.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, we really were just constantly creating this space, like, for Jesus.
Yes.
Right? Like, it's about 45 minutes a week where we intentionally bring it back to Jesus.
Yeah.
Intentionally bringing it back to, okay, God, what fruit do you want to grow in me this week? God, what are you working on in me this week? How is that going to impact my health? How does it impact my family? Because really, like, your health impacts all the things: your
Right.
job, your family, your parenting, your wifely duties, all the things, right? Like your energy levels, your relationships, your friendships, like how your physical body is. Like your body goes with you into all those different spaces. So having a healthy body that is rooted and like in Jesus, like it has to be. He has to be at the center of it all. So taking that time each week to do that, like that's what we did. I just holding space for you. And then with the coaching, like, I mean, you could do that on your own, right? Like you could totally be like, okay, every Wednesday at 1:00 is my time to meet with Jesus and figure out, make sure that I'm on track with my health. You gonna do that? Like, that's my question for people. Okay, great. Listen, you could totally do this on your own.
My light
is your light, your motion sensor.
Yeah,
but will you? Like, will you actually? So I just get like in like that accountability piece, right? To hold that space.
Right. And I think that's a conversation we had. You were like, but will you do this? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm the first person I cancel on every time.
Yeah. Because that's what we do.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what women expect to do.
There's no shame in that. Right? Like, I do it. Like, I would cancel on myself.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because as Christian women, obviously we need to put others first.
Oh no. You froze. Are you back?
Yeah. Are you?
Oh,
I mean, you're there.
I'm almost back. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I make up. Anytime like it freezes, I'm like, oh, quick. So that I can freeze in a funny face. No one else does that. That's just me.
I never did that quickly. I think after the fact, like I should have done something funny, and then
I'm never quick enough, but whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, what else? What else do people need to know? What do you want to share with them? You lost 12 pounds. You did it pretty. I mean, you didn't even know. Like you didn't realize you lost it either, did you?
No, because I didn't trust my scale because it's partially ignorant.
Right. Yeah.
It's all digital, and I thought it was just reading weight wrong because I was like, "There's no way I weigh that much. There's no way." Like, no. Yeah. But what I discovered is that my scale does not lie. It does not do math though. Yeah. So that feature is wrong. It can't tell me that. Like I can literally step on it and it'll say I'm a certain weight, and then I can step off and step back on. It'll tell me I'm the same weight, and I've lost 8 pounds or something.
So just to be clear, you stepped on it, and then you stepped on it again, and there was an actual 12-pound weight loss.
Yes, this time. Yeah. And I made sure it stayed before I even told you about it because I still have a sketchy relationship with its ability to do math. So
yeah, you were like, oh, 30 minutes into our last call, she's like, oh, hey, by the way, I meant to tell you, or I was so excited to tell you I lost 12 pounds. And I was like, you were not so excited to tell me. You absolutely waited to tell me. What? Like, yeah. And then I was trying not to be like squealy excited because my husband was sleeping.
Yeah. And I think that was honestly, that was the best part was that I didn't know.
Yeah.
That it was because I wasn't in my head. I was like, I'm still in this phase of I'm like getting my mind in the right place. And I'll eventually get to the habits that actually will physically make a difference. Mm-hmm. But all along, they actually already were. And I had noticed my clothes fit different, but I didn't really, like, I didn't think that much about it.
Because it was just kind of effortless. Like,
yeah.
You were just making a lifestyle.
Right. And so there's no fear this time, like, it's going to come back because I didn't end a program. And now it's going to, all that muscle I gained and weight I lost is going to flip flop, you know?
Right. It's not like, oh, crap, I ran out of my shake powder.
Right.
I'm going to gain all this weight back.
It's like I just made lifestyle changes that
Mm-hmm.
very intentional, that fit in forever.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's
And you had proof of that because, I mean, your
right, my
circumstances changed. Like,
yeah,
your season of life changed in the middle of coaching, and you were like, it still translates.
it's
Like,
working. Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't
because
have
we
to
were so intentional about those habits.
yeah, I didn't have to change a single habit to work around the move.
Mm-hmm. And we did look at them last week. We were like, okay, let's look at them and just see, like, now that you're in the house and you're a little more grounded there. Like, let's look and just make sure that they're all gonna work. And you were like, literally, they all work.
Yeah.
And we were like,
Like the tiniest of tweaks to just make new sense in the new space kind of
yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the habits themselves were all good.
Mm-hmm.
So
High five. What else do you think people need to know? Anything? What would you tell your best friend about your experience? Or
um,
your 250 best friends in the group?
hey besties.
Hi.
um yeah, I would just say that like the coaching just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It it's not because it's so customized.
Mm-hmm.
Like I chose to hit all 5 at once,
Mm-hmm.
work on things and keep that going. But we reviewed that and we're like, does this make sense? Do you need to
Yeah.
focus on this one? And we've done that. Like we've tweaked the
Mm-hmm.
Jesus goal, we've tweaked the nutrition, while others have kind of stayed the same because they are in a good place
Or they're
um,
not like toothbrushing habits yet.
right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like this is still something I have to focus on. It's not, second nature yet.
Yeah.
It's so customized that there's so much grace in the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all just it's very mind opening.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get stuck in your way of thinking about certain things and about, how health is going to go and how weight loss is or isn't going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And um, yeah, like the coaching just makes such a difference because it allows you to determine who says. You say, you
Mm-hmm.
figure out what works. Um, and learning those baby steps and having that support in working through those. Like I think everybody should do coaching. Like,
I think everyone should do coaching too.
yeah. Like it's just and I think too, like one of the things that really stood out to me too in our coaching has been that like you've never pressured into, well, you gotta sign up for the next whatever. It's
No.
always does this work for you?
Mm-hmm.
And I 100% feel that like at the end of our 4 months, if I had been like, yeah, I'm good, like I can continue this, I absolutely will meet with myself at 1 o'clock every Wednesday, that you would have been like, yay, do it. And
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
great. And I would have been fine. But
Mm-hmm.
I knew I wasn't. And so we've continued.
Mm-hmm.
And like I have always felt that way. Like at any point where I'm like, well, I don't know about this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should stick with this. Like just knowing and having like that bouncing board of am I ready for the next step or am I still working on this? And
Right,
being able
because it's your health. It's
right.
your life. It's not mine. Like, I don't get to make decisions for you. Like,
Yeah.
I've suggested things like, what if we tried this? Like, or that. Like, but it's
Yeah.
always been your choice,
Yes.
you
And
know?
I have never felt pressured to do any of the things. I have always felt like like I said, you're just a bouncing board. Like you're helping support me and talking through this and figuring it out.
Yeah.
And
Because ultimately, like, you knew what to do to lose weight. Like,
yeah.
you're smart, just like everyone else in this group. Like, you're really smart. You know that to lose weight, you need to eat healthy food, move your body, drink some water, and get some good sleep.
Yeah.
It's just having someone to help you like see the, the forest for the trees. Like, okay, but how does that look in my life? Like, I'm a little confused
Exactly.
about how that looks for
Look
me.
for me. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think, is that what you mean? Like when you say like, I needed a sounding board, like I just need someone to tell me I'm on the right track or guide me back to the right track.
Right. Well, there's so much like just a wide array of information blasting from all sides. You know,
All the time.
drink this much water, exercise this much. Well, what if those don't fit?
Mm-hmm.
And to have someone who can, talk you through how to make health fit in your life. And then everybody's journey is different.
Right.
Like not single one of us that coach with you looks the same. Our life looks the same.
Nope.
And I would be shocked if we did find somebody who was very similar, like, because everybody's different. And I think that's what the health industry in general doesn't pay attention to.
Right. I think that's why there are so many different diets and different programs in the health industry, is because each one of them worked for somebody.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, so how do you know which one works for you?
Right.
Like, that's what we're figuring out. Like, okay, well, what does work for you? For you specifically, like, involving your kids works really well for you. I have another client who's like, no, that is my mom time. Like, I don't want my kids to exercise with me. So we're figuring that out for her. Like, it's just different. And really, like, it's different in different seasons, right? Like, if you've got really young kids, like, probably don't want them exercising with you. But you have older kids who, like, it makes sense for them to move with you. Like,
yeah. And
everyone's different.
Exactly. Yeah.
I just want to keep talking to you, but I know that our time is up.
Yeah, but my next alarm went off, so I got stuff at work.
Womp, womp.
Sorry.
Thank you, though. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for being willing to share your experience here. Like, I mean, I could talk about coaching all day long, but it's totally different to hear it from someone who's like gone through it and is continuing through it.
Yeah. And I'm happy to answer questions. Like if somebody wants to message me or whatever, I'm happy to answer.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So y'all can post questions here in this thread. Or if you want to shoot Danielle a message, go for it. All right. Thanks again, friend.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. Yeah, you too. See ya. Bye.